As you can see now, it's a big hazard. All right.
Where's a good place to stand for you?
Let's start right here.
Okay.
Let me mention the flags. These flags are all the flags that have flown over Alachua County with the exception of the Confederate flag. Why, I don't know, but the board voted not to put it up. This was years ago. And these were sponsored and financed by Allison Foles, who's the lawyer next door. And he did this for his father-in-law. And it's got a plaque indicating that. And this introduces the park. Now, the city owns part of the park and we own part of the park. The line for ours is where the sidewalk is here. So we own the stuff to the left till we get down to the circle. They own on either side of Sweetwater Branch. It's never been developed. It's a total of about 7.2 acres that make up Sweetwater Park that goes to Southwest 4th Avenue. And they maintain their part, we maintain our part. We put in our lights, we put in our sprinklers, and but they pick up the trash and so forth.
Yeah.
This is the American Legion building. Originally here was a building called a Chautauqua. It was a conference center, held about 2,000 people. It was made out of wood. It was built in turn of the century or earlier. And it was here for many, many years, and a lot of famous notable people like Williams Cullens Bryant gave talks here and so forth. I don't know whether it burned or just deteriorated, but at any rate, it was taken down in the 20s. And then the American Legion built this in November of 1932. They named it the Hazley Lynch Post after Hazley Lynch, who was the first veteran, as you probably know, killed. It's an interesting story. There's a Lynch Park over in South Maine also. His father, after the war, went over and actually found him and brought him home. So that's why it's named that. It was built in 1932, and originally this was a walkway on the west side. And on that walkway was a World War I museum, a plaque, which I'll show you in a minute. In 1949, they took the walkway out and added this section here, which was basically a bar for them. And then they had all sorts of functions inside with dances and programs and so forth. A lot of kids went and adults went there for parties and dances and so forth at this building. We acquired it in 1992, purchased it from the American Legionnaires for $180,000. The city paid half of that from some leftover grant money, and they paid $90,000 with the proviso that we put our land as an easement as museum, and so it would not ever be anything else. So we actually started in November 11th, 1993. We got a big grant to do that restoration of $340,000. This was originally on the building before they added that section, and then about 1994, 95, underneath here it slants, and there is a small basement on this end, about 5.5, 6 feet tall, and then there's a crawl space of about 2 or 3 feet for 10 feet or so, and then it's I was crawling around under there looking for old bottles or tin cans, and my knee hit something and I pulled it out of the sand, And this piece was there, it was broken. Someone had attempted to cement it back together and messed it up badly. And we got O.T. Davis with Monument Company over at Evergreen to clean it up, and then we got some welders to build this frame for it. And this is the only one known to exist of World War I veteran memorial.